Before this video gets started, just wanted to give a special thanks to all channel members. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you want to become a channel member, hit the link down below in the description. Now let's get on with the video. Hey, what's going on, guys? Pineapple Sway. It's going to be talking about the clone theory in Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League. If you don't know what the clone theory is, basically the clone theory is that Brainiac cloned the Justice League and that the Justice League that we kill in the main game are actually clones. Well, I'm here to say that I'm about 95% sure that the clone theory is entirely not true and that the Justice League are not clones. And we're going to be discussing this theory and talking about why I don't think it's true and why I feel like it's pretty obvious that the game shows that, yeah, they're not clones. Honestly, starting off, one really obvious one to why they're not clones is basically when you defeat a Justice League member, each individual league member, you will notice that in the background, it's very subtle, but Brainiac will basically warp their bodies. We have no idea where they were warped to. We can only assume that he was warping them to different Elseworlds to heal. And we also know too that basically from different audio logs that, yeah, in some way they were resting on these Elseworlds and Brainiac was using regeneration powers to heal them. Another reason to bring up is the Flash's finger. At the beginning of the game, you cut off the Flash's finger with Captain Boomerang, but you notice very later on in the game, he has his finger back. Another one is Green Lantern. When you defeat Green Lantern, you obviously shoot Green Lantern in the head, and the bullet basically is still there. When you rescue Green Lantern, which means maybe the Brainiac that was holding him on that Elseworld didn't have time to heal him, and that it's still the same Green Lantern that we fought and killed in the main story. Another reason too why this clone theory just doesn't really add up is we're traveling to all of these different dimensions, we're traveling to all of these different worlds, and we learn of different leagues, different Justice Leagues, that there isn't just our Justice League. There's an Earth 2 Justice League, Earth 3 Justice League, and so on and so forth. If Brainiac was able to clone the Justice League, why wouldn't he just clone the Justice League from those previous worlds? Why are they dead? Why aren't they alive? So there's sort of that right there. Although there really isn't any proof to back that up, is all we really know is that the Justice League from each different individual Elseworld are not alive. Now, maybe at some point written in the game, Rocksteady had a plan to make them clones, to bring them back, but it's pretty obvious that the League they're just not clones. I've seen a lot of people debate about this, and this has really been a debate from the game since the very beginning, because a lot of people didn't want to believe that, wow, we actually killed the real Justice League, when in fact we just did. I'm sure that the clone theory, is nice in theory, and the game even brings it up with the recent audio logs, but it's pretty apparent that this is our league that we're rescuing, because also too at the same time, if they're clones, you would think that they wouldn't be able to have access to all of their memories. Like the Flash, when he sees the Suicide Squad, he makes the suggestion of, aren't they supposed to be in jail, since that's probably the last time he has any really real memory of seeing the Suicide Squad. They're supposed to be in Arkham. And there's just other things that we've seen, like why would Brainiac even waste taking their bodies? Why would Brainiac even waste, time and resources to basically take them after we've defeated them? Because if they were a clone, he wouldn't need the bodies. But obviously he's taking the bodies and putting them on different planets, Elseworlds, to have them heal, basically. And the biggest problem with which I think why a lot of people believe this theory originally was because there really just isn't any indicator that it is the real League, and there really isn't any indicator that they're clones either. So the biggest problem is, as most of you guys know, production stopped in March. So a lot of the stuff that they weren't able to finish in time, isn't going to see the light of day. So, which is why, no one really knows, are they clones? Are they the real League? It's just a lot of questions, but you can look subtly through different things, different audio logs, different indicators that suggest, yeah, the League, they're not clones. Because also too, bring up my original point of, you know, since we've traveled to all these different Elseworlds, if they were clones, Brainiac could easily just clone the leagues that he's killed and have an army of the Justice League for himself, his own corrupted Justice League. But, that hasn't happened. So, and he hasn't done that, which also makes, a reason to why they're not clones. I really like, I really like the clone theory, and like I really believed it at first, but now after playing the game and sort of seeing the small stuff like with Green Lantern and whatnot, having the bullet still in his head, and another thing too, the League is actually alive. We just haven't seen them yet. They kind of released an audio log with Deathstroke a little too quickly, I assume, which basically says like, yeah, they're all alive and they're not dead. And the audio logs too, which it sucks that this is kind of the way it is, but the audio logs are really big indicators of what's been going on in the story. We've had Green Lantern talking with the Squad, talking about things that have happened, different things, and we've even had the Flash interact with the Squad, talking about as he's basically been helping the Squad with the future Brainiacs that they've had to take down. Although we don't see that. So yeah, the clone theory would be cool, but I seriously doubt that it's true. Um, they killed the real League. It was meant to be the real League, as the game says, killing the Justice League. Um, it's just, it could have been played out a lot better. Uh, you know, that's really all there is to it. They just didn't have time to probably finish the story that they originally had planned, since they had to stop everything in March, and obviously too, Rocksteady has moved on to different projects, which I assume, oddly enough, is a Justice League game. And with the whole clone theory, like what I said, it's a cool theory, and I originally believed it. But if you listen to the audio logs and just see what's been going on in the game's story, it's just small, subtle things that, hey, this is in fact the real Justice League. Brainiac is just using regeneration powers to basically continuously heal them and repair them. And even going back to the motion comic in season 1, you can even see Green Lantern being held captive, the real Green Lantern, and yeah, having his ring basically trapped, so he's deemed useless. Basically, he can't really do anything without his ring. So yeah, that's really about it. Just wanted to talk about the clone theory, since I have seen it kind of sporadically all over Twitter just kind of erupt, and a lot of people think that they're definitely clones. They're just not clones. Um, Maybe it could have changed. Maybe there will be something different. Since there's a lot of things have changed, obviously, since the game first launched, and we don't really know what Rocksteady has planned next, if anything. Although we do know that, like, hey, they are working on another game. It's just, we're just missing a lot of chunks of the story that would prove that, in theory, that they're the real League. But that's just kind of my 2 cents on the subject. I'm not here to say, like, because I've also seen a lot of people like get upset if they bring up the clone theory, and I've seen kind of people like argue about it, like, what is right, what is wrong. I'm not here to say, like, I just am, in my opinion, I just think they're not clones. I could be wrong. They could be clones. We really don't know. But the funny thing is, we probably never will know if they were clones or not. But maybe we'll get an indicator when the final episode releases. Although I don't even think that the final episode will give us a true answer, and it'll just be something that'll just be left simply up to interpretation. But yeah, like what I said, if they were clones, then Brainiac would probably have cloned the other Justice League that he's met throughout the multiverse, and why would he even waste keeping their bodies? So yeah, and like I said, the Flash remembering, still having memories of the Squad being in prison, and then Green Lantern having the bullet still in his skull for the main story. Anyways, this is Pineapple Sway. Peace out.